Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Friday, January 31st. We got a quiet and dry start to the day, but a multi-day atmospheric river event will begin later today through the weekend. I'll be breaking that down for you this morning. Key bits we're going to focus on today. Again, a quiet and dry start out there this morning. Pretty cold morning in some of our mountain basins, but increasing clouds will continue to build in as the focus turns to our next system, moving in throughout the daytime hours today into the weekend. This will be atmospheric river moisture and southwest flow, bringing a mix of rain, snow, and gusty winds into our area, with winds peaking on Saturday. Precipitation chances will continue each and every day into next week as a very active weather pattern returns for early February. Taking a quick look at satellite for you this morning. Overall quiet and dry start to the day. Increasing clouds continuing to build out of the west. Not seeing any rain or snow out of these just yet. Generally mid and upper level clouds. But the bulk of moisture currently moving in from the Pacific coast. That'll be our precipitation maker later today. I'll be breaking down the timing for you here later in the presentation. And taking a look at the bigger picture for you. So overall, you can start to see that first system in a series of two. Moving onshore, that first one's going to bring a first round of precipitation for the weekend. A reinforcing one to finish out Sunday and into early next week. I wanted to kind of show you at least how we're timing that out here. This is the GFS Integrated Vapor Transport Model. So this takes a look at exactly where that moisture is going to be focusing in and transporting in from the Pacific Ocean. So with this, you can see Southeast Idaho generally right about here on your screen. As you can see here, heading into later today into tonight, that atmospheric river begins to fill into southern Idaho, overall perhaps shifting a bit south later in the day on Saturday before surging back north heading into Sunday and Monday. That'll continue to focus more widespread precipitation in our area, again mix of rain and snow heading all the way into Monday before that AR begins to drift further south on the GFS model heading into Tuesday and Wednesday, but overall as you can see a fairly prolonged period of moisture transport from the Pacific. And your weather outlook for the next 5 days, something we haven't had for a while. We got impacts over the next 5 days. So following an extended stretch, a fairly dry and quiet weather, definitely turning up things a notch as we finish out January and enter the month of February. So overall for today, starting off the day dry, a mix of rain and snow, building into the eastern Magic Valley and central mountains by around midday, and overall seeing that transition to eastern Idaho during those afternoon and evening hours. We're going to see widespread mix of rain, snow, and gusty winds on Saturday, continuing into Sunday. We may see some breaks at times, especially where we see more of those organized bands, but overall rain snow chances do continue into early next week as well. And here's a look at our latest watches, warnings, and advisories. Have gone ahead with winter weather advisories for most locations. Winter storm warnings, again, highlighting where we're expecting those heaviest snow totals here over the next several days. And here's a look at timing for you. So overall, starting off the day dry, and we're going to see increasing chances for that rain-snow mix, generally building in west to east throughout the daytime hours. Continuing into Saturday, a brief lull up towards the central mountains, heading into later in the day Saturday. But overall, those chances do continue all the way through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, before again we start to see that AR drift a little bit further south, decreasing those chances heading into Wednesday and Thursday. But following several weeks of fairly dry conditions, this is certainly something a little bit different that we've been tracking. But taking a look at timing for you here. So starting off this morning, nice and dry conditions out there. No winds or anything to worry about. But starting into later this morning, we'll start to see that leading edge of precipitation begin to build in, maybe some isolated showers out ahead of it. But the bulk of this is going to be snow, a rain-snow mix in the lower Snake River Plain around Pocatello, Burley, Twin Falls area, south into Utah, but predominant snow favored everywhere else. As we head into this afternoon, you'll begin to see that moisture really get going there in the central mountains, extending into the southeast as well, and overall through the overnight hours, it's where we're expecting some of those more heavier bands, especially after sunset, to really pick up in intensity across our whole region. So as you can see, some moderate precipitation across all of our area heading into this evening. That'll continue all the way into Friday morning. Overall, some potential on Saturday as well for some snow squalls as a cold front drops through the area. But other than that, just keeping with precipitation, continuing to build in over the next several days as far as keeping an eye, especially Saturday afternoon, as you can see some of these snow squalls that try to develop here on the HER model, but overall seeing the best chances for moisture begin to shift south and east on Saturday, drier conditions further north, again as that atmospheric river shifts to the south before returning north as we head into Sunday. And temperatures today, it's going to be another cold morning, followed by afternoon highs in those 20s, 30s, and 40s. Mild enough in the afternoon where you can see those highs of generally above freezing further south, supporting that rain-snow mix across our lowest elevations. And here's a look at snowfall and rain for you today. Overall, best chances for that more moderate accumulations will be up into the central mountains, south and east of the Snake River Plain, but through the I-15, I-84, I-86 corridors should be remaining fairly light today. Mix of rain, snow again across the lower Snake Plain, eastern Magic Valley, south into Utah. And wind gusts today, starting off the day fairly light, but we will see winds ramp up, peaking generally later into the evening hours and tonight. Wind gusts about 25 to 35 miles an hour. And for your Saturday, overnight lows trending well above what we've been seeing, even for afternoon highs for some locations, just indicative of that cloud cover and moisture in the area. But overnight lows there, teens, 20s, and 30s for your Saturday. Afternoon highs still getting most above freezing in those 30s and 40s. And for Saturday, again, we're keeping the idea of widespread rain and snow here over the next at least 5 days. So this will be a focus up into our southwest upslope favored areas. This would include the central mountains up towards Stanley, Galena, and the Wood River Valley, south and east of the Snake River Plain, and up around that greater Yellowstone region. That's where we're expecting those highest totals over the coming days. And wind gusts on Saturday, this will be when we're seeing the winds peak with this event. Looks like we should get some strong upper level winds mixing down to the surface. That'll lead to some pretty strong gusts, especially as you get out towards east of Idaho Falls and Rexburg, heading out towards Wyoming. Some blowing and drifting snow certainly possible up in that area, but over many of our locations as well. Let's see that new snow. And for your Sunday, much of the same in the morning, teens, 20s, and 30s to start things off, with afternoon highs in those 20s, 30s, and 40s. And precipitation for you on Sunday. Sunday did trend a bit colder than previous guidance, so this is taking a look day 3 at this point. But we are seeing the potential for more widespread accumulating snowfall and less rain potential on Sunday, which would support those more moderate, generally 2 to 4 inch totals across the Snake River Plain, and locally higher totals as you head up into the mountains. And here's a look at the 3-day precipitation as we take you through Friday, Saturday, and the end of the day Sunday through 11 p.m. Overall, we're looking at widespread accumulating snowfall, mix of valley rain across our lowest elevations, but certainly as you get into the high country, that's where we're going to be seeing snow measured in feet rather than in inches, and certainly some well-appreciated moisture after several weeks of fairly dry conditions. And wind gusts on your Sunday, again, ramping down from what we saw on Saturday, but overall gusts still hanging on to about that 25 to 35 mile an hour threshold. And for Monday, another mild morning for most areas in those 20s and 30s. Afternoon highs, generally about where they were, 30s and 40s. And precipitation on Monday, you guessed it, more precipitation heading into early next week. Another round of widespread mix of rain and snow. Again, best chances for that more moderate to heavy snow each and every day, generally into our southwest upslope areas of the central mountains and along the Wyoming border region. And wind gusts on Monday, just keep it with some general breezy conditions heading into early next week. Gusts about 25 to 35 miles an hour. And for Tuesday, much of the same. We're going to be keeping temperatures fairly steady each and every day, just given the widespread cloud cover and southwest flow with this event, actually helping temperatures get near normal to above normal levels as we head into early next week. But overnight lows, 20s and 30s for your Tuesday, afternoon highs in those 30s and 40s. And precipitation on Tuesday, again, before that AR begins to shift further south, we are seeing a bit of intensification of some of those higher precipitation totals up into the central mountains and up around the Island Park and Teton Valley region. That's where we're seeing, again, that AR shifting north, higher snow totals up there, drier conditions as you head further south. And wind gusts on Tuesday, generally about the same as what they were, gusts about 25 to 35 miles an hour. And to look at what's to come, again, that AR influence is going to continue to bring in some above normal favored precipitation chances as we head into the rest of early February. And with respect to temperature, is going to be a competing air mass, some above normal temperatures to our south, Arctic air to the north. That'll put us generally in that below normal favored regime. So as that AR departs towards midweek next week, Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe, dropping south for Thursday and Friday, expecting some cold air to accompany that as it works into Idaho. 8 to 14, bit of a weaker signal there on above normal precip in the gem state, but at least keeping with some semi-active trends as we head into the first part of the middle of February. And temperatures look like they should be staying below normal as we head into the middle part of the next month, keeping that cold northerly air in place. And that's about all I have for you this morning. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have an awesome Friday and stay safe out there.